I would sure love to go in that water with her and see if she'll come. You want to go with Daddy? Look, I have muffins in my pocket. See, I have all these muffins. Doesn't this pond look so refreshing? Maybe if I walk in, she'll just follow me, guys. We're going to try this. I'm taking my shoes off over here, Rita. Now, if she does, oh, watch out. You're getting tangled. You're getting tangled. So what I'm going to do is take her off of the lead and only have muffins to offer her. Hold on. Come here. I got muffins in my pocket. And then we'll see if she wants to follow on her own. But I'm not going to make her. Settle down. Hey, Rita, look. Do you see what I have in my pocket over here? These are muffins. Let me take this over here off. Now, if you want to run, you can. Or you can stay here with me for muffins. Want to stay for muffins? I have more. Rita, I have more muffins. Rita, I have more muffins in my pocket, sweetie. Rita, you don't know what you're missing out on, love. Look out for that hole, Rita. You're going to make me swim alone. Well, guys, there goes my horse. There goes my horse. And now I'm alone.
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. Dreams alive. We're all a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive.
Oh my God. That is the hardest song to watch. And I catch myself walking around singing it all darn day. It's very catching. Jamie is not here yet, but I see her pulling into the driveway right now. So she'll be here shortly. So anyone who comes to just to see Jamie, if you came to see Jamie, you just got to hold on for a minute. Bill says, I have to admit, Lester's video of Jamie trying to get the farm hand, which is the ranch hand, out of the truck might have been his best work ever. It had me rolling. Bill Moe, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't think many people got my humor in that one. As a matter of fact, I didn't see not one single comment on this stroke of genius that I had in that small segment. So Bill Moe, thank you very much for getting me, okay? It was hilarious, y'all. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And it went right over most everybody's heads, y'all. It just went right over most everybody's heads. But Bill Gamo, you get me. Thank you. Jamie's pulling in. We had to separate today, divide and conquer, as we sometimes will say. Guys, the neighbors' horses are back out, and they're back at it. Don't worry. I was here. I was scared to leave. I stayed here the entirety of the day, keeping the peace. But I'll tell you what, the neighbors' horses are back with a vengeance. And yeah, so all you can do is just try to be vigilant and try to keep an eye on your babies. And I just don't know what else to do. We're not going to focus on that. We're not going to fight and argue about it and say should have, kind of, all those kinds of things. Just know that I will be, here comes Jamie. I will be a whole lot more vigilant here now that the neighbors' horses are all back and they're running this fence line. Well, welcome. You're only 7 minutes late. That's not that bad.
Whoever drove my car last left the light on, as in the gas light on.
So hold on a minute. I can drive you to have lunch, and all of a sudden now I'm being accused of the one who ran your car out of gas. I've driven your car one time in since the trip. And I don't know how many times you've been out and about in your car.
I haven't left in my car.
You're telling me that your car has sat in there for an entire 7 days until today.
I have not left until today.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I'm glad that you were observant enough to get gas in your own vehicle.
And then the worst part was the first pump that I pulled up to, the screen was broken, so I pulled around to the next pump. Fine. And then I start pumping gas, and it takes like...
Oh, it was running low.
Yeah, so it's like taking forever. It is the first time in years that I put $10 in gas in my car.
Just screw it.
Instead of actually filling it up. So now I also have to stop again next time I get out, probably. But I didn't want to wait because leaving here tonight, that other gas station in between here and there
might be closed. Yeah. And it's also late at night that you don't want to be in there. Well, how nice is that? The kind of girl that never just puts $10. I am known.
Stop it, Tracy.
Trixie, stop. I am known for throwing in $5 or $10 or $6.99 or whatever I can find in my cup holder so many times. So I know all about putting in.
I know about it too, but I never let it get. I actually usually never let it get below half a tank because I'm super weird about keeping a full tank of gas in my car.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad that you made it.
Hey, y'all. I'm here and I'm late and I'm sorry.
I did get a text. She did text me and says, go ahead and start without me, that she's running a little bit late. I didn't hear all these details, and now I'm wishing I wouldn't have said a word about it. I should have probably just waited 7 minutes late and then started.
That's not true. I said I'm running late. I also have to stop and get gas. So like I would have made it here if I didn't have to stop and get gas, but I also was running late, and you can blame Kittens for that. Yeah,
it is hard to do anything around the house because those kittens are everywhere.
So you have to like take
including
inventory
up in your motor. They will climb right up into your motor. Oh.
So I take inventory, but then also I try to give them food and like close them in the catio.
Yeah.
Which Barnadette can open, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not. She can open from the outside or the inside on her own, and does. So you have to like, once they're in, you better hurry it up to the car and back it out and hope that nothing slows you down, because if not, everybody's coming out to follow you.
Yeah, those kittens are, as much as we love them, they're rough. They come out and they like to climb on everything. They're at that age. So it's not uncommon to find them in your wheel hubs, climbing there amongst your rims of your tires.
My front bumper has a lip, and they love to lay on the inside of that
Trixie,
lip.
settle
Also,
down.
this happened tonight too.
Oh, you lost a nail.
I did.
You lost a nail. What happened?
I don't even know.
You don't
That's
know
the
how
worst part, is I don't know. I was doing chores and trying to get everything finished up, and yeah.
Well, let me show you a little snippet of what I did today. Just a 45 second snippet. You ready for this one over here? This is awesome. I took Rita swimming, or I tried to. I would sure love to go in that water with her and see if she'll come. You want to go with Daddy? Look, I have muffins in my pocket. See, I have all these muffins. Doesn't this pond look so refreshing? I want to swim with horses. Maybe if I walk in, she'll just follow me, guys. We're going to try this. I'm taking my shoes off over here, Rita. Now, if she does, oh, watch out. You're getting tangled. You're getting tangled. So, what I'm going to do is take her off of the lead and only have muffins to offer her. Hold on, come here. I got muffins in my pocket. Force her in. And then we'll see if she wants to follow on her own, but I'm not going to make her. Settle down. Hey, Rita, look. Do you see what I have in my pocket over here? These are muffins. Let me take this over here off. Now, if you want to run, you can. Or you can stay here with me for muffins. Takes the muffin. Want to stay for muffins? I have more. Rita, I have more muffins. Rita, I have more muffins in my pocket, sweetie. Rita. Yeah. She's smart enough to take the muffin, and then off she goes. I'm not getting in that water. Even though I see so many footprints, there are footprints all around the pond. So those horses are walking to that pond throughout the day. Yeah. They're walking into that pond. I can see, since that water... But
not far, I don't think.
Maybe not, but that water is so crystal clear, you can see their hoof prints where they've walked out into the water.
I have a video of it.
Of what?
Of the horses up to their ankles in it.
In this pond over here. I've never seen it.
I haven't played it yet.
I would love to see that. But seeing how your horses love to get into the water and swim and play over there, I just wanted swimming with my horses over here. And guys, when I say my and hers, we don't mean it like possessive. It's just kind of like the ranch horses compared to the farm horses.
So you have to think about this, though. We had Dixie, Voodoo, and Bucky's for all those years, and we had ponds at Plum Grove, and nobody ever got in. And then Storm comes in our life, and Storm can't stay out of the ponds, and now they swim because Storm went in. So Storm is kind of like the instigator of courage to get into the pond. So if you really want your horses to swim here, you're probably gonna have to bring Storm over.
Well, I don't know. All I can say is I do not think it's because of the pond. You're going to say it's because of the pond.
She didn't get in it. Storm didn't get in this pond. I think it's the weeds on the side that are scary to them because they touch their legs when they go in.
Well, I mean, I cannot remove all the weeds. That's a living pond. Guys, you do know the difference in our pond here is a living pond compared to more of a fountain pond back, right? I mean, come on. It is because we keep all of our weeds over there. We keep all of our foliage. We don't allow it.
I think we can mitigate some of it here, but it's going to have to be done the next time that it's low. It can't be done right now. And it certainly can't be done this week because rains are coming.
Yeah, we do have rains are coming. You want to talk about that?
I actually was just listening to the weather on the way here. So it blew through Dallas and Shreveport today. One piece of it did. But there is a Derrico coming tonight between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. that literally sweeps across the top of Texas. And they're expecting 120 mile an hour straight line winds. And I never heard of a Derico until last year when we had one in Houston that took out like the whole Houston power grid, and like it was horrible weather. And all of a sudden now there's another one this year that's going to go right through downtown Dallas. Have y'all ever heard of that before this past 2 year?
You call it a Derico?
Derico.
Or
Derico. I think it's CHO. So I called it Co, but Derico. Okay, that. But it's supposed to be like nuts tonight. Absolutely nuts.
Wait, tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to happen here?
We will hit the southern tip of it. Mostly it'll hit Lufkin, but we will get a bit of that storm. And then our heavy rains actually start tomorrow. We get rain tonight. Our heavy rains start tomorrow. Wait, we do get rain tonight? Mm-hmm. And our heavy rains start tomorrow night and go. We will have rain for 10 days in a row. Not all day, every day, but 10 days in a row, we will have rain.
So in case you see the table moving and you hear a bunch of fumbling around, all three of my girls have come down and they're under the table. They're excited that Jamie's here, and they all want her to acknowledge them individually.
Trixie is laying on my feet, and Stella is mad that Trixie's on my feet, so she's licking Stella. Stella's mad, so Stella is licking Trixie and my hands. And then Christmas came over, and her tail is like whacking the table.
Yeah. No.
Had one in 2020. Had no idea. 12 in Ohio, people had one.
So our ponds are both, I say both, we actually have more than 2 ponds. All of our ponds are full, and so we're blessed for that. All of our grass is green. We're very blessed for that. The animals are healthy. Even Ernie, you all got the good news from this week with our vet visit that even Ernie's on the mend.
Don't
jinx it.
Don't jinx that.
Okay, well, I will say that from the last vet visit, Ernie is 50% fewer parasite eggs.
But he still has a treatable amount. So he still has a amount that requires treatment. So he's not out of the woods yet. And man, I was just explaining this today, that we are in, this sounds terrible, the breeding season for barber pole parasites because of our humid environment. Parasites are rampant right now. So this is the time of year where we have to stay so closely on top of it because any indication of them is negative for us. So I know it's good news for Ernie, but I don't want anybody to think that we're in the clear because we're not. What's wrong?
Nothing. Go ahead.
So we are treating, and we're treating everyone. And I do feel like today and yesterday he looked a little bit better. But I have a hard time getting like super excited about it because we went a really long time with him looking better, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. And I just think that it's a vulnerable place to be in. So I don't like to sing the song of "We did it, we're so good," and knowing that the season is literally just beginning right now. My hopes are that this rain, I know we hate it, I hope it kind of takes off the top layer of everything in that pasture. And when it does that it times it at the appropriate time, that everything that we have gave to them is cleared out and dead. And that by the time it all wipes out, that we actually create a clean space. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But that's only over there. And I just kind of think to myself, I don't know if parasites actually wash away in rain. I think that they attach to grass, they attach to feed troughs, they attach to water containers.
They do, but it comes from their feces.
Right.
So if that can, and you, no matter how much you scoop, you're just never going to get everything up out of your soil from that because it goes into the soil.
I'm just going to say this, and folks can disagree if you want to. That's fine, because I may be wrong. But I know that in life, there are people who get sick more often than others. Yes. There are people, I know children in my classes that I taught who some were just, I don't want to say this and sound like I'm being insensitive, but some were just sickly. They were just sickly, and they were sick all the time.
Yeah.
And then I know adults who are also very often sickly. Yeah. They're just always sickly. I don't think it sounds right me saying
They
it.
have a low immune system, perhaps.
Maybe so. And I'm just going to say that I feel like Ernie might just be sickly. I mean, even though we love Ernie, because we do, guys, we all love Ernie. I just feel like he might, because I mean, it seems like as long as I've known him, he's been kind of sickly. No?
It's just that
Or
once
maybe
they
he's
get,
more prone to getting sick.
So once the barber pole happens, it's basically a lifetime battle. That's what happens.
Well, hold on. So all of almost every one of our dog rescues came to us with heartworms.
Mhm.
So we do either the slow or the fast treatment. So I can't picture barber pole being more deadly or more dangerous than heartworms in dogs.
Significantly more.
Well, that's okay. Well, I always then you know what? I think scientists need to get their butts to work and figure out what's going on and find a way to rid this darn barber pole.
So that's what's really happened, is that we have parasites that are just growing in strength, and basically the medications that we used to treat them, they're immune to now. So the parasite's immune systems got better in the most generic way that I can explain it.
Huh. Funny.
Resistant. Thank you, Christine,
Resistant,
for the word.
yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why they don't want you to be taking as many antibiotics, even for humans. They don't want you to walk around always popping antibiotics, obviously.
Jennifer just said, my parents smoked with the windows rolled up and I'm still here. Listen, we ate a lot of dirt. We didn't use hand sanitizer. You know, we didn't even drink water. Like in school time, there was nobody carrying water bottles around or anything like that. You got milk with lunch. That was it. So I know it's amazing that we survived, but you know, alpacas are what veterinarians joke about, saying that they're made from spare parts. And even when we went to A&M, the lead veterinarian told us that they have cat parts, they have horse parts, they have cow parts, goat parts. Like there's like 7 different animals that their anatomy is like. And that's why there's such a hard treatment for things, and that they don't really like. The horse world is a big world, so they specialize in equine. There's the dogs, there's this. But when you have an animal that literally is put together, basically with spare parts, it is really hard to treat different things as well. They're amazing animals, and we love them so very much, and we want to do everything we can to get them better. And I'm hopeful that we will get through this. But dang, it's been rough.
I had to look something up. I was just the fact that you talked about something kind of made a connection. Do you guys know that last night we were watching a Netflix? Jamie is dozing off, and I get up because my body was craving another water bottle. And I told her, she's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm thirsty. But I didn't go to the fridge. We keep our water bottles out in the shop. And I walked all the way out into the dark, through the dark shop.
Probably
stepping
not
on,
wearing a lot.
I wasn't wearing much. I stepped on probably every barn cat we had, because they all lay everywhere. They just lounge. They take over the entire shop at night. And I got me a water bottle, came back, and she goes, where'd you go? And I'm like,
that's not what I said.
Not quite like that. But I'm like, I just wanted the water. Anyway, she goes, are you okay? But here's the thing. I
thought he was sleepwalking, okay? I thought he was about to wake up and make popcorn in the dog bowl.
Oh, God. Talking about sleepwalking. Remember Tetris night? We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yes.
Listen, no, but here's what I was trying to say. I'm proud of myself, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. But you all have heard that if you do something for 21 days in a row, you can make it become a habit. You know about this.
I do. So
what I've been doing, guys, and like I said, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say, look what I can do. But I've been drinking so much water, like hydrating myself a lot. Some out of necessity because of all the stuff we've been doing over at Jake's, things we've been doing over here. But the fact that I've learned that I kind of like the taste of the Propel waters. I like the flavored waters that Mr. Bill sent over here. And I find myself preferring to grab a water bottle instead of a carbonated soda, or instead of a Crystal Light, or even whole milk. And so I think that I have got myself into a routine of drinking water, and I'm kind of proud of myself for that.
It's a lot to be proud of.
Huh?
It's a lot to be proud of.
I mean,
I haven't gotten there yet.
Compared on what I used to drink all the time. Even now, we have tons of sodas over here. I can grab any soda I want. I have the cheating type of Dr. Peppers. I have the Coke, the Pepsi Zeros, and I went over and got me a water because my body says just drink the water. Isn't that nuts? But
my body does not say that. My body says coffee, and then either a Pepsi Zero or an energy drink, and then.
So Jamie was real mad at me, and let me just address something real fast. This is to the sweet lady. I'm not going to say your name to giving you credit. I tried to hide you once and I couldn't find it. If I look tired, it's probably because I am tired. If someone looks tired, I don't think no matter how many times you tell them they look tired, they're probably tired. Do you need me to acknowledge that I'm tired?
I'm tired.
My
name's
tired.
Jamie Walker, and I'm tired. And at 4:30 today, I told Lester, I was like, I hope I make it to 8 o'clock.
She did. She actually said that she needs more than caffeine. She doesn't think that even caffeine can keep her awake at this time. And but listen, this is the first weekend in a couple that we've not gone anywhere and traveled to do anything out of the ordinary.
We literally busted our humps.
But that's what I was saying. But believe it or not, taking those little day trips, as much as it may be a 2-hour drive or a 3-hour drive or whatever we've driven to go somewhere, the fact that we didn't go anywhere meant there was no excuses not to work. And my God, did we work. Of course, I also left you working yesterday and went to see L.E., my older son, play in one of his adult flag football games. But yeah, we're tired, y'all. We're tired because we work. We get up early at the crack of dawn. You know where that came from? The rooster crows at the crack of dawn. Come on. The day is on. I'm a survivor.
Oh.
Come on, Jamie. I've been singing that song like crazy.
I didn't know that that's how it started. It
the
sounds
rooster
so different.
crows. It sounds different when I sing it.
A little bit.
Anyway, another reason that Jamie is tired is because I had this weird dream. And I don't know what made me do it. But people probably don't even know about the game called Tetris. And I don't know why I even had this dream. But Tetris is a game from our youth.
Yeah.
And in Tetris, there was all of these unique shapes. Let's just take the letter Z. And it would be falling down, and you had to reshape other shapes to where when the letter Z finally hit, it would match up perfect. And then here comes another letter falling. So you're trying to shape and reshape these.
So you're spinning the thing.
You're
as
spinning
it falls to fit.
Yes. So if
you want to make lines to clear them out. Okay.
You have to. Everything has to match up, or it ends up building up, and then you lose your game. Listen to me. I have not played or even seen the game of Tetris in 30 years, 40 years. Seriously, it's been a very, very long time.
I love Tetris.
From what I know, no one plays it. I never see it on TV. There's not any commercials. But I had this dream that I was Tetris. And for some reason, please just play with me here. She's sound asleep. And I'm I'm doing things to where we can match up. And I'm trying to match. I'm turning my body in different angles in the bed. And she felt me at first, and
He bent my legs in ways that they don't bend in the middle of the night. And I was like,
but not in any kind of weird way. There was nothing at all. We were both laying horizontal.
I mean, he wanted my knees to bend backwards.
Because that was the way to save ourselves from ruining the game.
He's like, straighten your body.
But listen, when she woke me up, I was literally flipped around where Jamie's laying normal way. I'm laying across this way with my knees turned this way, and I wanted her to turn her knees this way, except that was backwards from how she was laying.
You know, when you are like in a really
I don't know why I have these dreams.
And you're used to sleeping next to someone, so you know their movements and things like that. It doesn't bother you, but then things start to feel weird, and you're like you're so confused about what's happening, and then you come to, and your person is literally trying to make your knees bend forward because they don't physically go that way, and you're like, what is happening? And he's like, why won't you bend? And I'm like, what way?
I don't remember talking. I just remember getting mad because she wasn't helping me.
He was mad. He was
mad at me. I was very mad. I was so mad that she would not help me form the shape that we needed.
Like, he huffs and puffs when he gets mad. Like, even in like the non-ambient state of getting mad, he'll like, and like, you know, lay down hard on purpose and like scoot as far away from me as possible until like I don't scoot over, and then all of a sudden he's scooting back over. Well, this time he tried to be mad, but then he still tried to take his legs behind me to try to get my legs to bend because he just thought that he could just keep doing it.
I don't know. We were watching something on TV. I don't even know what we were watching when we fell asleep, but it was nothing to do with Tetris. It was nothing to do with like, what was that show called? It was nothing weird. We don't watch weird shows like science fiction kind of stuff. We just watch normal movies. And so Jamie fell asleep first. She always does. But at some point, and I don't even know what time it was.
I don't know.
But every blanket was off the bed. We kicked, I guess I had
we
kicked.
did it because we don't sleep without blanket.
I had kicked every blanket off the bed. My pillows were off the bed. The dogs had already come by and claimed the pillows and the blankets. So once we were finally awake trying to get our stuff back together, then the dogs didn't want to get up. They were already, the dogs don't even come to the bed or even near the bed unless you drop a pillow or a blanket there, and they come and claim it. So it was really a horrible, horrible night, And I woke up when she told me, like, wake, stop, you know, what are you doing, whatever. And I finally woke up. I was freezing cold. And I did not know why I was playing Tetris.
But the funniest thing, though, was watching you come to, because as he's standing up, I'm going to demonstrate.
No,
okay?
Please don't embarrass me. Don't do anything to embarrass me. Oh,
okay? Lord. On the edge of the bed, he's still doing this. Like, I'm like, what in the hell are you doing?
Don't know what I was doing.
And then his back leg comes up like this, and I'm like, is he hurting? Does he have a
cramp? How did it look?
Like this.
I was doing that.
Yes.
That's how I was trying to do in the bed. I had turned myself into that position.
But he wasn't coming to as he's standing up. He's still trying to do it, but he's now standing instead of laying. And I'm over there and I'm like, I'm one-eyeing it going like this. I'm like, oh my God.
The noise you hear
all
is
I could think
Stella
about
playing.
was like, did he take 2 pills on accident?
I did not take 2 pills. I you know what? And for everyone who's saying stop taking the Ambien, I don't think that y'all get it. If I don't, I lay there all night.
That's a way worse event, because then the TV is louder and louder. And then all of a sudden he's like pacing, and then that body slamming he's not mad at me. He's mad at himself. So he's body slamming the bed each 37 seconds each way. No.
I'll tell you what I did 2 years ago. Now, hold on a minute. And ask me which, and you tell me which one is worse. You be honest and tell me which one is worse. Jamie's mom come down to visit 2 years ago. That was not her last visit, but that was her visit from 2 years ago, when it was around spring breakish, April, whenever, and she introduced me to vanilla flavored Jim Beam. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Mixed with anything. And so I began to drink those. And I found out that when I drink those before bed, then guess what? I can go to sleep just fine, and I don't need an Ambien. Now, wait a minute, guys. Think about what we're saying over here. I can fall asleep if I drink myself to sleep, or I can fall asleep with Ambien. But without either one of them, no matter what I do throughout the day, no matter how hard or I may work, my mind will not stop. And I cannot fall asleep. So I still think, no matter what you may say, I still think that the Ambien is probably better than the Jim Beam and
Somebody says Jamie doesn't believe in separate beds. Hold on now. Lester does stay at the jail north from time to time. And you're going to say, like, oh, I bet you get a good night's sleep. I actually don't. I actually sleep better with him next to me, even with all of the crazy. But last night was one of the extremes. It's not always an extreme. Most nights it's pretty pleasant. Last night was wild.
So listen, so someone says the smoking yourself to sleep. I don't do that. I've tried that, and that gives me horrible headaches. So, and then we've also tried so many other things.
He's tried melatonin. Melatonin does nothing to him. Melatonin actually has an opposite effect. It's like he received Adderall, I guess, or
hey,
melatonin is like a stimulant to him.
I'm just a sicko. Y'all don't know I'm just a sicko.
There's something in his chemical makeup that does the opposite.
And here's the thing. It wasn't always like that. That's Stella, friends. If you guys hear that noise, that's Stella. So I've done the CBD. I've done the THC. I've tried all of those kind of things. I don't teach school anymore, so nothing. Those things give me headaches. The different gummies give me headaches. Or horrible, what do you call those? Hallucinations. That's even worse. I would rather dream of me being Tetris than some of the other stuff that I've experienced. Trust me. So I don't know. Poor Jamie, but she probably wants me here. She probably wants to kick me out. I will say one thing kind of funny, and I know I'm talking a lot, but let me finish this up. You talked about the fact that Jamie doesn't mind sleeping alone. Do you know that there was a time when if I dozed off on the couch, she would come wake me up and say, hey, time for bed. And she would lead me, help me get off the couch and make my way to the bedroom. Now, and I'm not mad, I think it's funny. Now she'll just bring a pillow and a blanket and leave my ass right there.
Hold on, I'll tell you why.
She does not want me in that bed.
That's not true. I'll tell you why. No, you get mean when I wake you up. Why don't you just leave me? I was comfortable. I was sleeping so good. And now I have to redo my whole sleep routine. Meanwhile, he walks into that bed and his head hits the pillow and he's asleep before I turn the light off. But either way, stay on the couch. Go ahead. By all means. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to get you a pillow and a blanket and get you so your neck's not kinked in the morning. Now, go ahead with it.
I don't know, guys. I just don't know what to do. But
well, I can tell you this. If I sit still, I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah. I used to be that way. I don't know. Well, yeah, something happened over the last, I don't know, few years, and now I just cannot sleep without an aid of some sort. So everyone wants to talk about the new ranch hand. What can you tell us that's not going to take away from your video about the new ranch hand? You guys do know we have a new ranch hand.
We do have a new ranch hand.
Oh boy.
I can't say much because it's all in my video. The new ranch hand is a girl. I can tell you that.
Didn't know that until, let's talk about my video then.
Okay.
But you can talk about it. I feel like I've just rambled on and on. When I was leaving here one day last week, I had the trailer with me, and I stopped at the road to close the gate. You know, we close and lock the gate when we're not here. And so I stopped to close and lock the gate, and even on the highway, right there along the freeway, I could hear something because it was loud enough for me to hear, yet I don't have the best of hearing. And so that's
what is the most baffling part to me, is because Lester can't hear anything. And when I say he can't hear anything, I have to message him sometimes.
Well, maybe it's selective hearing, and maybe my mind just listens out for little kitties. I don't know.
I have to message sometimes from my Zoom in my office and say, turn down the TV, turn down the phone. I can hear everything. And he's like, I can't hear it if I turn it down.
Well, I thought that there might be something inside the trailer. I thought maybe a stray cat had gotten inside that trailer, because there's a few compartments in there for saddle and tack and stuff. And I thought maybe a cat had gotten there and had kittens, because I thought that what I heard was a kitten. And so I sit there and listen, and a truck would come by, and I would lose it, and I would listen, and I could hear it, and I did not know where it was coming from. And so I went ahead and circled around the truck, make sure it was not coming from anywhere in the truck. It was not in the dash. And I'll tell you the truth, I did not even think, I mean, for a minute, I thought, did I drive off and one of those kittens from home had ridden with me somehow up in the hood? It scared me. And so I looked, or circled that truck several times. It wasn't in the trailer. And I started looking around. I thought it might have been a bird or something who sounded kind of funny. And then my eyes, I just was able to catch something in the corner of my eye along the fence line. And I think if you saw the video, you would have saw what happened. I walked up and I saw real fast. It wasn't a sweet little kitty who wants to come to you. It was one that was scared, terrified. And so I'm not saying the way that I was able to catch her and get her back home was my proudest moment.
I was proud. I was proud that you, because I don't know if you know this or would believe it, but Lester is actually a pretty modest person and does not like to take his shirt off in public settings. And for him to take his shirt off along the highway was kind of like, that was pretty serious.
I could be having open heart surgery and want to wear my shirt.
That's the truth.
Doco, you just like cut right here. Just cut it right here. I think if you just cut it right there and pull it back, we should be okay. But no, I didn't. Well, here's the thing. When I reached down the first time and picked up the little sweetie, she bit me and scratched me. Jamie's been playing with my bites and my scratches ever since, trying to doctor them up for me so I don't get the pneumonia or the whatever cats have, cat scratch fever, whatever. I didn't want to catch anything. Tetanus, whatever cats carry, I didn't want to. She got me good. So but even with her biting me, and you guys know how hard kittens can bite, I could not let go, because if I had let go, she would have run through the high grass and I would have not caught her. And that would have been the bullpen pasture. And so I knew if I let her, I says, once I reach in and I grab her, hopefully, I mean, obviously you want to grab them behind the neck. Everyone knows that, guys. I'm not an idiot. Bird flu. Thank you. Didn't want to get the bird flu. So I knew that whenever I reached down to grab her, I could not let go. And I knew it was going to have to. And Ellie taught me that. Believe it or not, my son taught me that. And he says, no matter what, it's going to hurt, but you don't let go because you'll never catch them again. And I was like, oh, boy. And I even said, this is going to hurt. So I put my phone down. I made the lunge. I grabbed. And at that point, I didn't grab in the right place because my hands started getting eat up on. I know. Terrified. But I did. I pulled my shirt off without ever letting her go and wrapped her in my shirt where I couldn't get bit, and not as much. Yes, thank you, Larry. It's called cat scratch fever, and I did not want the cat scratch fever. Thank you, Franz. Anywho's, we got her home, but not until I already gave her a name, Ranch Hand. And the problem is, before we got home, she began to wiggle and squirm, and she found herself out of that shirt. Now, remember, I'm driving down the highway. It's 70 miles an hour on this highway, and I did not want to risk. There's no way to, there's not a shoulder. There's not a shoulder. What are you making that face for?
I just remember you tell your story, then I'm going to tell my experience.
We do not have a shoulder to pull over on, so I just kept on driving, just hoping that she would jump to the floorboard and go under the seat. That's a great hiding place. Under the seat, wonderful hiding place. I can handle that. Well, she didn't. She went to the floorboard and went into the dashboard, like that way. And that's where Jamie steps in.
So I get a phone call on the way home from someone who's late. We had plans to go somewhere. So I'm all dressed and ready, and he's 45 minutes late. And he goes, I can't talk right now, but I'm bringing home a ranch hand. And I'm like, on Friday night? I'm like, is it a ranch hand? Because all I'm thinking about is like, I don't know, maybe he's driving home and he saw a little Chris on the side of the road and he was broken down or something like that. Like, I have no idea what the heck he's talking about. But I'm fuming. And I'm like, is it a ranch hen we know? And he goes, nope, I gotta go. I can't talk about it right now.
I says they're listening.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
they were. The ranch hand was listening.
My blood is boiling because
Okay, well, that was me being humorous. That was my humor. I'm bringing home a ranch hand.
yeah,
I thought that was funny.
yeah. Except for in all of that, he forgot that we had plans. So
No. I knew we had plans. I did not know we were going to have an issue getting our
It's
plans.
true. Yes. So he gets home and I guess I'm in the shop and you walked around the other way because I find him in the house and he goes, "We got a problem." And I'm like, "Who did you bring home? Where are they?"
Yeah, she was mad.
I'm like, "Did you put them in the RV? Because like it's kind of weird that we're planning to leave and you brought a stranger home." And he goes, "I'm going to need you to calm down and just watch this.
Yeah.
And I need help with the ranch hand." And I'm thinking like my blood is going.
Yeah. I don't know why sometimes I like drama. I don't know why sometimes I'm a little extra. I'm a little extra at times, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Keep in mind, he has no shirt on, okay?
Well, no.
He's sweaty. He's acting like he's mad that I'm like I have a purse
Hold
on and
You're
a dress.
making it sound perverse that I'm sweating with no shirt
No.
on and there's a ranch hand.
No.
I need help with the ranch hand.
I think at this, like, here's what's going through my mind. I haven't even told Lester this. I thought he had to like help someone change a tire, and their truck wouldn't start, or like in my mind, all of these things are going on as to why would Lester bring home a stranger when we're getting ready to leave? How do you leave a stranger at our house? Like and then
it was the ranch hand.
Where is this person and how do you hire him in the last 30 minutes to call them a ranch hand? Like I have so many questions as to what's going on. So I have my purse on, I'm dressed, I'm clean, and he shows me the video. He goes, "Watch this." And here's a video of this teeny tiny little baby kitten climbing directly up into his dashboard.
Yeah. So the good thing is she couldn't stay mad then.
I was not mad.
She was mad.
Point.
Well, see, here's the thing. We did have plans to go somewhere. I was running late, but now she understands why I was late.
It's like in the morning, the person that's late, if they brought donuts, except for Lester brought home a little baby rescue kitten. And somehow she got trapped in his dashboard, and we spent the next 2.5 hours trying to get her out. Basically, it was less than 2.5 hours. It was a while.
What you have to do is explain to them, maybe even show them a little bit, and then also talk about where you learned this trick. I'm going to grab me another water. Do you want anything?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, in my calm down of being mad, I almost said of being Jamie, but I can't. I don't want everybody to like hate me forever and think that I'm just always mad. Just deal with them, So I walk out and I'm like, all right, let me look up in the dash. And I don't know if you have ever tried to be 42 years old, not skinny, and it's 100 degrees outside, and put your upper half of your body on the floorboard of a pickup truck while trying to see in the smallest place ever. But it turns out to be for people who are the size of a 7-year-old.
Or those who play human Tetris on a regular basis.
Except for you couldn't do it either, which is why you made me do it.
True. That is true.
So I'm up here in this dash and I'm looking and like, I have watched YouTube videos before about how to take a dash apart, but I don't think we have the tools to do it. But let's just try that game. So that's what we start with. And then I'm getting more mad because none of the tools are where they're supposed to be and I can't find the right tool to fit, and I'm just fuming and I'm fuming some more, and I finally have to like take a moment to think. And the last time that we had any issue with kittens was when that feral cat gave birth to kittens in our attic and they ended up in our wall. And I spent a week coaxing out those kittens and ended up being able to gain their trust by playing noises of a mama cat calling their baby. And I was like, we're going to try this. We're going to see if it works.
Play it. Show them.
So we hadn't heard from the kitten in like an hour at this point in time. And I'm getting panicked because it's hot.
Because remember, it was hot and the truck was hot and we didn't want to crank it. I was afraid the cat was going to find it somehow to go up into the motor or the transmission. I don't know, guys, how all those things are all tied together. I had no idea.
So anyway, so then I YouTube mama cat calling her kittens, and this one It's a very unique noise. I just played it and played it some more.
And
played
then
it some
next
more.
thing you know, that little kitten up in the dash was answering.
Mm-hmm. And then she crawled out, and she was terrified. But I caught her, and Lester's like, "Don't let her go. We'll never catch her again." And I'm
No.
like,
I learned my lesson.
so we get her, and we get her in. We put the dash back together, and we've been caring for her ever since.
So we were not able to go anywhere that night. Instead, Jamie sat on the bathroom floor playing with the ranch hand the entire night.
Playing is a strong word, because she was in rough shape. She is in rough shape, and that's the most honest that I can be, is that I don't know her story. Well, it's just like every other rescue or animal that comes to us. The only part of her story we know is from the moment that we saw her. And what I can tell from her little body is that she has had a hard life.
And so she's not out of the woodwork yet, my friends. She's, we're trying to get her to eat right. We're trying to calm her down. She's terrified.
She's feral. She's completely feral.
She goes, even though we have her in our little bathroom, when Jamie sets her down, she runs back behind the washer and the dryer. And so every time Jamie comes in to love on her, to feed her, she has to put on that sound, the mama cat calling us baby. And then real slow, she'll walk out and she'll look around and she'll look around and she'll come a little bit further. Then finally, Jamie can kind of reach down and pick her up and hold her. So
I have tried multiple things, and you'll see some of that in tomorrow's video. Like I really went to some angles that I thought would work, of being able to assimilate her and to not have to trick her every time. And none of those have worked yet. But we're finding our way, and we're taking it 1 hour at a time, really. I have spent a lot of time on that dang bathroom floor. I can tell you that. And this weekend, I really was productive, but every time that I came inside to cool off, it was on that bathroom floor.
Yeah. So there'll be a whole lot more about what we've done with this kitten since we picked her up.
We have been looking every day just to see if there's any more, and there hasn't been a sign of anything else. Yeah,
no. So my mind makes me think that more than likely someone probably dumped several. I don't think you'd only dump one kitten at the rest stop. Everyone knows, and the rest stop employees, two different rest stop employees, told me back when we had Sadie go missing that all kinds of people stop and dump cats and dogs all the time. I mean, that's like dumping a dog, dumping a cat. That's like the place to dump them. So they're constantly in contact with animal control to come get cats or come get dogs. So I'm thinking that somehow if someone did come by and dump kittens or dump a family, if it were a family, I don't know how kitten would have gotten separated from mom. That's why I think maybe they just dumped kittens only, and somehow that kitten made its way all the way from the rest stop over here to our driveway and along our fence line. Yeah. But I will say this, and I don't mean to sound inhumane or cruel, but we did drive around, Jamie and I, looking not only for living kittens, but even some that might have been run over. And we didn't see anything. So that makes me feel a little bit happy to know that she was by herself. And hopefully the others, if there were others, have already been picked up and taken care of by somebody.
That's our hope. You never know. And
but at the at the front of our property, if you don't know the layout of the land, you wouldn't know this. But at the front of the property, there's no way that this kitten would have come from anyone living on the far back end of the property. So there's no reason to go down the road on that far back end road asking people, have you lost a kitten? Have you lost a kitten? Because a kitten that size would never be on the front end. That kitten had to have come from someone who dropped it for purposely, more than likely.
She's teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Like teeny tiny.
Yeah, she's like half the size of the Barnadette's babies.
Yeah. It's really sad, but she's home. And we have a new ranch hand who turned out to not be homeless stranger that Lester picked up on the way home. Not the way that I had feared, but I was pretty mad on Friday night until that happened.
You didn't see my thumbnail, did you, of this video?
I don't know. Oh God.
This was my thumbnail. I wonder how many people imagined that that was a ranch hand. In my video, and then I have to ask you this question, and you got to be honest. I'm gonna look you right in the face when I ask you.
Why are you laughing?
Did you sort of envision that I found a ranch hand?
No.
This is a Chinese lie detector.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you didn't run in and put on makeup and change your dress and stand tall and pretty and arch your back and do all them things?
I had the exact same dress on that I have worn several years past. That was just a normal farm everyday work dress. Like it wasn't any. We didn't have like concert plans or anything like that. We were running to go pick something up from like an hour away. That was the plan. And then to eat something along the way was the plan. So I didn't have like fancy heels or I had flip-flops. I did have a purse. And I had my normal, in fact, it's the dress that I'm embarrassed to say keeps coming up in my memories. It's the blue dress with the little orange and black
the one
spots.
you wear all the time?
Yes. That sometimes I pull up the memories on Facebook and I'm like 2 or 3 years in a row, I've worn the exact same dang dress.
Whoops.
Yeah, the Chinese lie detector tells the truth.
Today's memory, the year-long memory, it was a year ago today that we were out and about at the Goodwill, or no, the resale shop, and I ran across that hairpiece. It was the first hairpiece that kicked off an entire 3 months.
Oh no.
6 months.
It still lives on. You just wore a hairpiece like a month ago or like a few weeks ago. You just wore something.
As a joke.
You wore it.
As a joke,
I wore it.
Okay, but as a joke, I will wear it to make the kids laugh or to embarrass the kids. And that was because Lex was embarrassed of me at his game because I'm bald. So I jokingly took out my hair pieces and told Lex, I'm going to wear this. Is this better? So that's why I had dug the hair pieces out.
But the inception of the very first one is a year ago today that he found it at the I guess it was a
thrift store.
Yeah, thrift store on a little styrofoam mannequin head. And he was like, this is coming with me.
Well, it fit.
And it matched his beard.
And it matched me perfectly. And so
he wore it. And he wore it some more.
I wore it that entire day. And we went to go eat, and I wore it. And we went to the feed store, not our local feed store, because those guys know me. We went to a different feed store where no one knows me, and I wore it. And it ended up kicking off about 3 months of me wearing a hairpiece all the time. And then I began to get gifted hair pieces. People, you guys are so funny, y'all.
Yes, we have a hairpiece kit. We have a bag that holds multiple hair pieces in a variety of style and colors. And
when was our family prom?
October.
That was the last time that I actually wore a hairpiece on purpose. And I wore that white one so I could look Scottish. I wanted to look Scottish. And so I wore my kilt with that white. I wanted to be like the silver fox. I wanted to be like the silver fox. I wanted to look Scottish or British or something. And so I wore that with my kilt, and I thought it made me look very distinguished. That was the last time that I wore an actual hairpiece.
You wore one a few weeks ago in something, and I don't remember what it was.
That was only because I was messing with Lex.
No, there was another time. It was in a video or something, or in a live. You had the white hairpiece on.
Oh,
what was that for?
I still had it sitting out. Was I using it on a mannequin? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. Guys, the things that we argue about. The
The
recliner.
recliner. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, I
yes.
saw him wear the hairpiece.
So at this point, it's just a prop. It's just a prop, okay? It's just a prop. Should I get it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be right back. You can end this whenever you need to because it's already been an hour.
The chair.
What's wrong?
So
Well, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb you.
that recliner video was hilarious, and I have to tell you a funny story about that. So I've been doing some promotional things to help fund things, right? The horses, the horse hooves, the chiropractor, like things, and to make up for our loss on Facebook. So I do a few sponsorships a month, and Lester has been helping me with some of them. So that chair video, they send over like a brief, okay? So they send over like, here's some info, and here's some other people who have made videos of our product that you can use as reference. Do you know that the reference link on that one was the Denman Homestead? And I thought it was hilarious and amazing that it was like Papa and Gigi get something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. That's Steph and Buddy. They are the spokesperson for FlexiSpot. And I thought that was so awesome. I have not even told them that, but they literally are the spokespeople for that FlexiSpot company. So Lester's like, I can't let Steph and Buddy win as the spokespeople. So he puts on the wig and grandpas it up in the recliner, the lift chair. And now that company writes back and goes, how about we do some other things together if you and Lester can do it together? And I'm like,
wait,
my puppet.
Your monkey. You mean your monkey?
Okay.
I'm
my
her
monkey. My monkey stole the show, apparently.
So what I've noticed is, and I don't mean this in a mean way, this is funny, but you really do use me a lot.
I do not. You're going to say, hold on a second. If you get to say that, then all the times you're like, Jamie!
That means I need help.
Well, I need help too. That's not using you.
So what I'm about to ask you, in all seriousness, and I'm going to give you once again the Chinese lie detector along with an Arabic tune. Are you ready?
I can't not laugh whenever you make the tune. That you know that I can't.
If you laugh, it means you're lying. Are you trying to say that you don't purposely make me out to be a jester, a clown in a lot of your videos?
Baby, I don't have to make you out to be a clown. You do that to yourself.
Okay. Well, so supposedly, huh?
Well, the recliner needed to demonstrate someone who had trouble getting up and down.
Okay. So, all right. So, all I'm asking is, since these are sponsorships, Trixie, could you not do that right now? She don't want to lay on the floor.
Yes, Jamie is always making fun of you, Lester. We see it.
Thank you.
That's great.
So, could you cut me in on some of these sponsor deals then? Maybe could you cut me in on something? Could you
cut you in? I do cut you in because every animal we have is healthy, receives vet care, receives chiropractic, receives their hooves done, receives special supplements, yes, I do cut you in.
Don't forget that when she went to the graduation party 2 weekends ago, they all ran to the door. Hey, there's Jamie. Where's that funny man? Where's the funny man? You don't think that I have feelings, and these feelings could be quite fragile? And
you
sometimes
should have felt wanted and like
I'm the funny man. I'm the funny man. The funny man.
He loves being the funny man. He loves to make people laugh. Loves it more than anything in this world. He loves it.
Every deck needs a joker, says somebody. Oh boy. Anywho's.
Yeah.
Fragile my ass. I feel honored, okay? I feel honored. I'll be more than happy to be your monkey if it'll help sell somebody a recliner, okay?
I actually really like.
Did anyone think that I was like really old though? They knew that was a prop, right? Surely your people knew that was a prop, not like your dad.
They do.
Okay.
True story though. Tell them where we moved that recliner to.
Oh,
and how much I love it.
Yeah, we moved it inside, y'all. We moved it inside.
The recliner is in our living room and replaced a dog bed, and it doesn't face the TV, and it is my most favorite spot to sit. I'm not trying to promote that thing. I love it. I love it. It's my own corner.
The promotion is over.
Yeah.
The promotion is over. We set it there in the shop, not sure who we were going to gift it to. And she found herself sitting there when she would like be tired or taking a little break or whatever.
I did.
Just found it to be very comfortable.
Extremely comfortable. And I've been kind of against recliners in the living room for a long time because we don't get to spend a lot of time together, like true time. So when we do sit down, I like to be able to touch. We're both of our love languages touch. But recliners kind of create a divide, you know? And now that I have that one, I'm kind of hooked. And yeah, I think somebody might get one for Father's Day to match, maybe. And then maybe we'll get rid of that love seat thing.
Oh, so 2 of those.
We could have recliner races. You know about that on Friends?
No.
You don't know about that?
No, I never saw that one.
Tell me that somebody knows what I'm talking about, that I'm not nuts. Please tell me.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
You're going to get us demonetized and
I'm
banned
not.
and get a
I'm not.
strike on my channel.
I'll turn on the volume.
There may come a time in our lives when I need help getting off the couch or the recliner, but as of right now, that only happens when I've fallen asleep accidentally. And yeah.
Oh, this is not what I was anticipating.
It's okay. We were way past our hour anyway.
They know. Yeah, so on Friends, they had recliners, and they would see who could draw out the back or the bottom, fashion, like 1, 2, 3, and who got their thing kicked out first. But,
you know what it reminds me of? This is funny. Let me grab something real fast.
Yeah, not trying to promote that chair, but it's my new favorite chair. I sat in it in the shop, even when it was hot outside.
So turn sideways. Turn your chair sideways.
Like facing you?
Yeah, like you're in the back seat. So I saw this really funny thing. And this is my sense of humor. Take this.
The guy who doesn't, just use them to make people laugh.
So I don't watch a whole lot of videos, but sometimes, like everybody else, I can get caught up in those little short ones, okay? The ones that we can't stand. But I get caught up in them. And so this here shows it was a how to escape, how to save your own life in case this happens. And it's like back from the 1980s, okay? So a guy gets into his car and he's about to start driving, and someone in the back seat jumps up and puts that around their neck and they're choking him, right? All right, so it's like, you're choking me. And so they say, don't panic. Instead, recline your seat. So you all know in the old cars, you hit that button and you can recline, and instantly you put your hand here. So now I've reclined myself with my hand here. So no matter how much you pull and tug, I have a way to slip out, right? And I can run for safety. You run for safety. So then it shows this kid watching this, and he wants to, or I guess he finds himself in a situation where all of a sudden he gets into his car. Here we are in the 2025. All right. So he gets in his car. Now he's learned how to protect himself in a bad situation. He gets ready to crank it up. Go ahead. He remembers. He grabs the seat recliner.
It like slowly goes back.
And the whole time it's going, and he's being strangled. And the burglar who's behind him is like, singing like, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It was funny.
It was so funny.
Yes, it was hilarious.
Anyway, so see, I have a sense of humor. That was so funny. Okay. Anywho's. Well, listen, we've had you guys for longer than what we're supposed to. We've had you for over an hour. But I will say that tomorrow I have, even though you did not see it happen yet, I did, in fact, go swimming with horses. I showed Jamie a beautiful snippet. So if you take the time to watch Longhorn Lester's tomorrow at noon, you will see me, in fact, swimming with horses here at the JL Ranch. And I mean all of them. If you watch Jamie's video tomorrow, you'll get to meet Ranch Hand.
You will. And you'll get to see some of her struggles, but also some of her tiny little triumphs so far.
And if you watch I'm a Survivor at 3 o'clock, you get to see me on the tractor moving hay. And that's fun. So, and then of course, I'll be live in the morning for the coffee clubbers. Remember, we're going live early now. We're back to 7 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Central for the coffee clubbers. And even though that's a little bit too early for you guys over on the West Coast, I completely understand. Don't set your alarms. Just go ahead and watch the replay when you get a chance, if you care to see some cows and some horses up close and personal and enjoy a cup of coffee with me. That would be great. And if not, we'll catch the regulators tomorrow night. And that will be after 7 p.m. So see, we're just always just coming on. We're just taking over the internet, Jen. We're just taking over the internet, ain't we? One viewer at a time.
Y'all, we hope you stay well, stay safe. If you're in the path of those storms tonight, please take care of yourself and your families and your neighbors. And we'll say a prayer for you as well. And as Lester mentioned, there's a lot of really amazing things happening all around us today. And we hope that you'll catch that on the videos that are coming up this week. We love you so much, and we're so grateful that you give us the greatest gift of all, which is your time.
Now, everybody go grab your tissues. Let's do this together. I was sure. Wrong one. Wrong one.
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly.
Really, Sandy?
I'm a survivor.
Really?
Stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny.
night, guys. We love you all.